How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video, finally. I've been so busy lately and haven't been able to build as much as I would have liked. I recently just got a new job, I moved, and got married all in a span of a couple months, so I've been crazy busy.
Oh, I'm stressed.
I'm back now though, with another mock building video. Alien Romulus just came out, and although I haven't seen it yet, I have been rewatching all of the Alien movies, like Alien, Aliens, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant, so I am in the spirit of building something from one of those movies. I decided to just build a mock from the original Alien movie because it's just such a classic. Here is a sketch of kind of what I came up with. It's not from anything specific in the movie, it's more of just kind of a generic sci-fi looking hallway. I started by placing down two 16 by 16 plates and one 6 by 16 plate for the base. I then added some longer plates underneath the outside of those plates to connect them all. Then there are some black tiles on the outside of those plates. This will act as the bottom of the black border. I then started mapping out where I wanted everything to be. For the border, I used snot bricks all around the outside with some black tiles attached to the sides. Next, I added black plates on top of the snot bricks and some tiles onto those. I wanted a hexagonal hole in the floor that the alien would be coming out of. I used hinge bricks with ingot pieces on them to get the angles, and then snot bricks with ingots on the side. I then needed to use studs not on top technique to put everything in place. Next, for the floor, I wanted to use these fence pieces for the metal grate flooring. This technique allowed me to stick a 1x8 tile in between the studs, leaving the perfect gap for the fence piece to slot into, with them being completely flush with the sides. I then added these parts to the mock. Once everything was placed down and supported, I filled in all the gaps in the back and sides. It was time to add the fence pieces. How they perfectly fit in was so satisfying. I've wanted to use these printed pieces for a while now and finally found a good use for them. I love the metallic printing on them. The last thing I needed to do on the floor was finish tiling everything. Next, I worked on these rounded, angled walls. I used a lot of light bluish gray rounded plates with holes to add bar pieces to them to make them sturdier and attach them to modified bricks. I really like the effect they give off when they are all together. For the last section, I added some doors to act as storage for the crew, and it adds some variation. I then used snot bricks and rounded bricks for the middle section of the wall and added some electrical boxes for decoration. I just used two modified bricks with some grill pieces. I used a similar technique with rounded plates to finish the top of the wall. This balances everything out nicely. I decided to add a few more greebly bits. I used a lot of dark bluish gray candlestick pieces to represent pipes running along the top of the wall. I also added an inverted angle on top to give the effect that the hallway is rounded. Next, I worked on the back. I used large panel pieces to prevent light from coming through the bricks and to make everything more stable. I needed to start working on the right side of the mock, specifically the entrance or exit. I came up with this design using some upside down building techniques. I used the rounded plates with holes and the stud piece with the little bar connection. This is one of my favorite ways to do upside down building. I then started building up the back with plates and bricks, trying to make everything level and sturdy. Again, I don't want any light to pass through because it looks really sloppy and makes taking pictures of your MOC difficult and annoying. I then finished building up the sides of the MOC to give it a nice clean finish. I also added some floor lights and hanging bulbed lights for decoration. The trans red color of the lights added some much needed color to the MOC. I plated off the top of the MOC and added some modified plates to act almost as a rail, giving more depth. I also added a little ladder piece in the hole. I then added some black rounded bricks to the border. I like that the rounded bricks match those used in the hallway wall. It adds an excellent sense of balance to everything. Next, I added some piping details to both sides of the MOC for extra detail. It makes it look a little bit more sci-fi-esque. I decided to add a black roof border to balance the black border on the bottom. I think this design really sends the message that this MOC is an interior MOC that takes part in a bigger scene, which is the Nostromo ship. I made sure to tile it all off so it was sleek and didn't stand out too much. Lastly, I added details like a control panel, crates, tools, and of course the minifigures.